What up, what up, what up? I want to welcome everybody to the On the Map podcast. This show is to highlight high school athletes and also give these young athletes a platform to tell their stories and pursue their dreams in life. No matter what the dream is, remember, this is only the beginning. I'm your host, Coach Paul. That handsome young fellow over there is my co-host, Jay. But as you can see, today's guest is not a high school student, but this is somebody that raises our young men and turns them into the adults that hit society. We got our coach today. He's a very special guest. I'd like to welcome the head coach from Los Angeles High School in Los Angeles, California, Coach Anthony Jackson. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Appreciate it. How you guys doing today, man?
Hey, we're blessed today. I'm blessed. Jay?
Yes, sir. We're blessed. Yes, sir. Thank you for your time, Coach. Excuse me, Coach Jackson. About a month or so ago, we had your linebacker on Arturo, and he was as the interview was going on, he kept mentioning your name and kind of what you do for the program, the money, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears you put into that program. And I knew immediately. I literally told Paul on the call, like, we gotta get Coach Jackson on. So finally, we have you here. Thank you for your time once again, and let's get straight into it. So, you've been at LA High for close to a decade. How did you end up getting hired at LA High? What's the story behind it?
I was actually the JV head coach at Fairfax, and
Okay.
dealing with Shane Cox, Solario, them my guys over there. They actually gave me my first high school opportunity. I was coaching Pop Warner during that time. Around about 2013, 14, I ended up leaving, and I was still doing Pop Warner, but I didn't leave to go to another high school yet. And Eric Scott happened to, just have a conversation with me about becoming a JV coach over there. And I, once it happened, about 2016 or so, but around 2015, I was kind of with them a little bit, but 2016 is when I really jumped full-fledged in there with them.
Okay. Before Jay asks his next question, so you said that you were in the Pop Warner world. How long were you in the Pop Warner world before you decided to be like, you know what, I'm going to make this high school jump?
2008 when I first started coaching Pop Warner. 2012 is when Shane Cox approached us about me and a couple other guys about coming up there. I was still, doing that, the Pop Warner thing, and I was more into it. But once he asked me to and I saw how I liked it, it was like, okay, no, not like it. I loved it. And so I actually did them both for about 4 years, actually.
Yeah. It's tiring. I tried to do as a position coach. As a position coach, I was able to be the DC for a Pop Warner team. As soon as I became a DC, Pop Warner was out for me. I was like, I can't do that. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
man. Too much time actually.
And it's not even. I hate to say this. It's not even the kids. It's the parents, man.
Right, right. That's the worst part about it. Don't want to deal with the parents, man. So. Yeah, first chance I seen, I was like, yeah, enough is enough. I just stuck with high school after that.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And now we're here a decade plus later, so.
Yeah.
Kind of random, would you ever go back to coaching Pop Warner in the future? Do you ever see yourself?
Yeah.
I think that's our answer right there.
I want to say yeah, but the only reason I wouldn't, it's so, I don't know, the game has changed. What I mean with the kids and the parents and the, it's more about, we big time stars and we bunching teams up together. From what I see, when I go visit, I see a lot of 1,000 kids on one team and other kids. I don't really, it's kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's different, Jay. It's different now.
All right. Okay. Thanks for the insight. So, Coach, you're the JV head coach during that 2016 championship season for LA High. What was it like to experience and learn from a championship coaching staff?
It was good. I kind of knew them dudes for a while, and the pedigree. It's more than just the wins on the field was good, but it was more stuff I learned off the field that I see Eric Scott don't get a lot of love for. He's really, they like, some people get mixed up about, what happened afterwards. But the preparation that he put in time of for just period, just like not just the game plan, but the outside thing. it was a good
Right.
learning lesson on how to build, just to build something like completely, not just your
Okay.
team, just not just on the field, but off the field. And he showed me a lot, to be honest with you. You know, game planning was one thing, but the way you prepare for a game all week, the things how you help kids to get things ready for off the field and on the field, he did a lot. You know, actually, me and him built a great relationship during that time. You know, even though it was like, but you know, even through the years, he's still someone I contact on a regular. We talk almost. I talked to him yesterday, actually. You know, we talk on a
Nice.
regular. You know, me and him is real
Nice.
close. You know, so you know, he a good dude as far as trying to. He really is a city guy that
Yeah.
understands how you handle things in the city. You know.
Okay. Totally get it.
Nice.
So Jay brings up the fact that back in 2016 you were there when they won the title, right?
Mhm.
But do you think that okay, hold on, let me go back. You were there in 2016. Do you think the championship was it's kind of like, cuz I know that the sanctions happened, but
Mhm.
like you just said, the preparation was there. Like when they made you vacate all the championship, like they made you forfeit the season, vacate the championship, did you ever like question, like, should I stay? Because you're there 10 years later. Like when something like that happens, it normally runs people off, coach. And you stood there. So like what went into that?
Okay, when it before it happened, Eric Scott had got the job at Nevada, and
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
he called me up and was like, "Hey man, this is what's going to happen. I think you should stay, and I think you honestly should go
Mm.
for the head coaching job for the varsity." He was
Okay.
like, "I think you'll be the perfect person." He said, "But these kids are checking out, but
Yeah.
by you being an alumni and being from there, I think you'll be able to control the situation and make everything, you know, go." Like he said, you know, the way you coach and the way you deal with things. And then plus,
Yeah.
after everything we went through, it was like, okay, I was thinking about it, but at the time, I got a promotion at my job.
Right.
And
Mm.
only reason I stuck around because the athletic director had asked me, you know, we're interviewing people. Do you still want to stay on as a JV head coach? And I said, well, you know what? Yeah, because I did have some kids coming that was from Pop Warner. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah. Let me. I could do that. Fine.
Okay.
It just didn't go to. It just didn't go as quick as I thought it was gonna go. You know.
Right.
But the reason why
So
I stayed
okay.
behind though. But let me tell you the exact reason. Well, I'm from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm from LA.
Right.
I'm Roman. Like
Yep,
you
alumni.
know, we got my father, his my uncles and aunties. That's from the '70s going back. You know,
Okay.
I went there too, so it wasn't no. Even by him asking me to come coach there, it was a no brainer. My family is LA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't edit that out when I say it. And I'm saying
I
this fact.
won't.
Like my family is LA High, like hands down. Anybody know us? That's the first thing coming to their mind is us.
Okay.
So
That's
that's the
right.
one that was a no brainer. Stay on. You know.
Yeah. So my like because I was reading Jay's question, right? And I kind of like I reworded it because I wanted to lean into this question. So that's why I was like struggling with the question because I was already thinking of my next question. So you have schools like Hawkins, you have schools like Narbonne, you have schools that have forfeited titles because of sanctions.
Right.
Like, and when you hear those names, just like LA High, like that stigma comes to it. Do you think that your school is still affected by that now?
Me personally, no. But if you ask
Okay.
if you ask people around, they'll say that. But nah, because we just are that era with Eric Scott. That was
Yeah.
his own thing that he did.
Okay.
Now we talk about LA High as a whole. We've been going to the playoffs every year since they left. Like I mean,
Okay.
we still and we're doing it with LA High kids. We don't
Yeah.
do. I don't. It's no
Yeah.
transfers flowing there. We don't do none of that. We just stick
Yeah, I
to what
feel
we
you.
did and keep going. So it's been a different touch, but um, I don't think I don't no I don't think that stigma stick on us too much no more. I mean, I
Okay.
don't haven't heard nobody really bring it up. Every now and then they bring up the
Yeah.
Hawkins and us. Like
Yeah.
it's a tit for tat, but for the most part,
Yeah.
nah, I don't think it stick to us no more.
Okay. That's cool, coach.
Yeah, I agree. Um, when I think of Hawkins, well, actually, I guess we couldn't spoil it because the episode would be out. So we had Ronald Coltrus on, the head coach from Hawkins.
Mhm.
What, last week, Paul?
Yeah.
Um, and we had kind of asked him kind of a similar question. And honestly, like, I don't really think of, when I think of LA High, I don't really think of the 2016 vacated titles. I think of that with Hawkins because I think they were a much newer school, not much history. But with LA High, I don't really see that. So I would definitely agree with you on that.
Okay. No, yeah. I tell everybody I'm new to the city, so like when I learn things like this, it's like I've seen scandals happen. Like look what's happened at the big dog down the street, the private school. Like hello, like what you do in the dark will come to the light, right? So, but like it intrigues me to hear stuff like that because you've been there for 10 years and like it could have an after effect. Like some people may just like I don't know if Norbon's ever going to bounce back or not. Like, but that's why I
And
asked.
and that was a conversation in the beginning about uh when he had talked to me about it.
Yeah.
Eric had talked to me about becoming a head coach. Probably about a month later, that's when everything hit the fan,
Okay.
and you seen everything start moving differently around there. And
Mm-hmm.
my thing is this. Yeah, I could have shook. I could have went anywhere and just been like, okay, let me just. I didn't want to. I didn't want to abandon ship. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's still home. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when it's home, you don't just shake home. So I was gonna stick it out
Exactly.
regardless and just help out as I go and keep going. So that's how I went.
That's a real one right there. You're a real one for that one, Coach. Real
Yeah.
talk.
But my next question is kind of more of a generality question. What are some of the struggles you face as an inner city school?
Money. LA city schools don't have money. I'm just, I mean, when you take a job uh at a city section, LAUSD schools, I don't know the budget, what goes on. That's one thing I guess I never understood, don't know. I don't have a clue. But what I do know is you gotta have heart and gotta have a plan every season. I mean, um
Yep.
when Arturo called me a couple weeks ago and told me that he wanted. First of all, I'm gonna let y'all know that I don't do interviews, man. I don't really like talking to people. So for him to
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Really?
no, seriously, when he called me, he was like, "I need you to do me a favor, coach." I said, "What?" He was he was like, "I need you to talk with these guys and have an interview." I'm like, "Interview?" He said, "I know you don't
Yeah.
really like talking to people." I'm like, and that's true. I don't, man.
Yeah.
Anytime
Mhm.
they come and want to talk to somebody at school, I revert them to the kids. Always give them
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
talk to the kids, and I try to stay out the limelight. But he sees not just him, all my kids do. Man,
Yeah.
from it's just the simplified of you ask for little stuff, it'd be like, oh, we don't have money for it. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't. I can ask for ice and water. Oh, we don't have money for it, so I'm paying for that. Like, okay, I need knee pads, mouthpieces. Oh, well, coach, I'm asking. I don't know where the budget is at. I'm like, my thing is, if you ain't a person that's trying to make a way, you're gonna find yourself struggling and being upset.
Yeah.
Every year, I gotta have not just a coaching plan for the field, but I gotta have one for off the field too. The little stuff to
Yeah.
make sure
Mhm.
that we can have a good season. And when I say a good season, I mean just making it through. Since we've been there, I can tell you this: we ain't had no major injuries. I know the numbers ain't large, but we do what we can as far as maintaining and keeping my kids in form shape. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
right.
Yeah.
that's just the basics of what we try to do, no matter what. We just try to make it through. And I don't know, man. That's one struggle that I don't know. I don't know the issues or the budget, this and that. But I know
Yeah.
9 out of 10, but it is good positive things. I seen Cisco interview, and he's right about one thing. The uniform thing, that's a beautiful thing, how they appreciate that. The recondition of the equipment, I think that's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing, how they fund that. But it's just other stuff, and it's not more in the district. I think it's more of an administration thing myself too. I think,
Yeah.
at least from
Mhm.
what I understand. I still don't understand who who runs what. How do you get this money? What's what? They tell you to
Yeah.
fundraise, do this, and it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, and I'm only gonna chime in on this part just because like you had Contreras have a whole athletic department of kids boycott the school because they're talking
Yep.
about you cannot have summer workouts. Like something is going on with administration that it like their priorities are not certain things, and like
Mhm.
that's above my pay grade because I know
Right.
I don't experience it at my school. But when I see a school like yours, or I see schools like Contreras or other schools, it kills me because sports are these kids' outlets, and you're taking it away from them.
Yep.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly. I agree.
So when
I
Arturo
agree.
told me like he shared your story and like how committed you are to the team, like it was I'm glad he told you, coach, and I'm glad you took the time to get on here because people need to hear what you go through as a head coach because the first thing people do is oh, let me look at the school's record, let me look at this. There's things behind the scenes like that people don't know about, and it's not cool. Like you guys go like I'm a defensive coordinator, I watch my head coach go through a lot, so I can only imagine what you go through, and we got help. So if you don't have the help, that's messed
Right.
up.
Right. Right.
I feel it, coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Arturo told me what he told y'all, and
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
and let me. That situation, man, took a lot. You know, when you get to a point where you be like, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. You know,
yeah,
Mhm.
that day, that week was a lot on me mentally. You know, you know,
yeah.
we come into some things, and then you have things in your personal life. I just had a
Right.
newborn baby at the time,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
I was sitting up there, my thing was I had kept asking him for this equipment. We didn't play the 2020 season, so when 2021 came,
Mhm.
we didn't turn in no helmets for reconditioning. So, but when we
Hmm.
turned them in after the 21 season, they
Yeah,
returned. We got returned to 15 helmets, and I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work. So I approached administration like, hey, you think we can get some helmets? They like, you ain't got enough. I'm like, no, I only got 15. They kept looking, kept telling me. I'm asking the AD. He's saying he's talking to them. We a week away from having to give out equipment. And I'd
yeah,
had these kids out here from the spring all the way to the summertime, running them, working them out, doing all this stuff. I'm a man of principle and a man that my word is all I got.
yeah,
I wasn't finna look in those kids' face and be like, yeah, by the way, we don't have helmets. I don't know what to do. We might have to forfeit games and this and that. And
Mhm.
it's like, I said on it. My coach Damo, he was with me at the time, and I was pacing. We work out on this hill around the corner called Murfield Hill, and
okay,
we're working on this hill doing our. We go there three times a week. I done made these
nice.
kids get on this hill, do all this work, and now I'm about to tell them that we might have a season. And he
Mm.
like, so what you gonna do? And I'm like,
We finna pop open the we
yeah, like
finna hit
I'm like,
offer up
Yeah.
all of it. We
and
getting
I'm
these
looking
boys
like,
equipment.
what we gonna do? I came home, I had a conversation with my wife, and was like, she was just like, hey, I know, I do what you got to do, and just let it be.
That's
And it's
right.
like those conversations that because this is more of a thing I love to do. I shouldn't have to pull from certain things to do this, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So
That's
we end
right.
up getting the helmets for these guys, man, so we can play the 2022 season. And
Mhm.
some coaches will be bitter and upset. Now I just went to
Yeah.
work, and that's one thing that more than anything, the kids paid attention to that more than me. They was
Facts.
more amped
Yeah.
up, but I got to work. I got to focusing. I didn't harp on it. Didn't care about it. Whatever went after that, I did my part. I did
Yep.
my part as a coach, while beyond my job as a coach, to make sure we
Yep.
was okay. So
Yeah.
I just like, hey man, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. And I was like, that's when people be talking about when everybody want to sign up to be a coach, especially when they use that term walk on coach, which I am one.
Hmm.
When they say
Yep.
that walk on coach, which get a lot of slack in the media, and I'm gonna bring that up too. So don't edit this out neither. What I'm saying, that term of
Whoa.
walk on coach, and they be laughing and this and that. Yeah, I got a real
Yeah.
job, and it's no offense to nobody that works at LAUSD. I'm not saying it, but I do have a real job that pays a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
What I don't, what I do is I take a lot of time out of that other job and other things to be a walk-on coach. And when I hear that term, people like, what
Hmm.
Facts.
they mean by that? I'm like, what do they mean by that? I was up
Yeah.
there today doing grade checks and off-season stuff, this and that. That's what a walk-on coach is supposed to do. That term is kind of like, but it's like, I hear that get thrown around too loosely because I'm
Yeah,
not a teacher.
you don't have the luxury to hey, do this row of 5 on this
Right,
board. Here's the
right,
computer
Hmm.
and let me get to work. You don't have that
right,
luxury. I
right.
feel you. Oh, I feel
Yeah.
you. Trust me. I get it. I
So,
get it.
I hear it a lot. For real.
Yeah. Hey, so let's shift gears a little bit, coach. This year you guys had the program's first playoff run since those sanctions in 2016.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about last season and the playoff run.
We was together this time. I had two guys that really put the work in. Joshua and Arturo really
Yeah.
really put it like they I finally got some guys that was leaders on and off the field.
That's right.
And Eric Schottenheimer did an article on them in the summertime, and when he called me
Yeah.
about them, yeah, and he was like, he was like, when he said that, I couldn't say enough good things about them dudes, is because those guys showed up 4 years ago as ninth graders. Arturo just happened one day. I'm getting an email from him saying he wanted to come to LA High, and I thought it was a joke. And I'm being real, like, who was it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, here go our practice schedule. Boom. And he shows up the next day, physical form in hand. I'm like, oh, okay, who are you? He was like, I emailed you. I'm like, oh, okay. And had cleats, and he just told me he wanted to play football to lose weight. He never said nothing about
Yeah, he said
this and
that.
that. That's all he told me. He said, and then then a week later, school starts, he brings Joshua out with him. And I'm
Yep.
like, and these dudes just turned into be just two genuine guys that really love being at LA High, number one, and number two, they just wanted
Hmm.
to put the work in. I
Yeah.
knew that will lead to something, and it did
Yeah.
lead this year. And they had been together the whole time. I had them on the line at first, and every
Yeah.
offseason they telling me how they gonna develop into something, but they put the work in to prove it. So
Yes.
with them, and then we had they had some other good dudes. I got Fernando. He's my center and my D tackle.
Quintero.
He's heavy into what he does. Um, Jeremiah Hughie. We had a whole we had some other guys too, but we played as a team, as a unit.
Yeah.
And this unit really believed in each other. As we start going through the season, because the non-league, some people was calling me like, "You really playing all them dudes like that?" And I was like, "What you mean?" I was like,
Right?
they,
Yeah.
them teams I respected. I respect Panorama. I respect
Yeah.
Westchester. I respect Fairfax. Grant, them guys, I respect those guys. The unit in
Yeah.
them. I'm like, hey, we have to figure out a way if we're gonna advance. We got to play some teams. Win, lose,
Exactly.
draw. We just got to compete, and that's all I was looking for. And they did a good job at that. They played together and
Yeah.
they believed in each other, and they believed
Hey,
in Ethan.
they believed in you, coach. Real talk. They believed in you. Hey, from
Yeah.
from our interview with Arturo and to hearing you tell the story, coach, they believed in you. Like
Yeah,
real talk.
yeah.
And as a coach and being a new coach, like to the city, that like I say these kids are a breath of fresh air, coach. Like you're a breath of fresh air to me. Like you give
I
me like
appreciate that.
hope to see where I like eventually I'll make that run to try to put myself as a head coach, but to see people like you being a pillar for a school is dope to see, man. It's really dope to see.
Appreciate that. Yes, definitely, definitely.
Coach, you mentioned Ethan Grant, who's your quarterback. So, for all the viewers who don't know, LA High has a promising shot caller for the next 3 years. Freshman quarterback Ethan Grant impressed this season. Can you
Boy
talk
is
about how
bad.
impactful he will be for you for the next 3 years and for the LA High program?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be something special, man. No, the kid is he brings some energy that, well, first of all, since I've been there, I have been moving people around to be a quarterback. I never had a Pacific
Mm,
person come in here and that's the quarterback. He's the first one.
Yeah,
So that's the first time we have had that. It's guys we have moved around and made them into quarterbacks, but they was other positions. Even
Yeah.
one year I had a tackle. I put him at quarterback, and he led me to the
Hell
playoffs.
yeah.
It's just like it just go like that sometimes. But this is
It
the first
does.
time, and when he came out here in the spring last year, I just remember my guys. I mean, all of them, especially Arturo. Arturo pulled me to the side and was like, "Coach, that's him." I'm like, "What you mean?"
Yeah.
He said, "This the guy. We want him." Like, I said, "Okay." I've been knowing his father for a long time, Jason Grant. He a long time assistant
Okay,
over at Crenshaw, and he used to be the head coach at
nice.
Jefferson. And along with Eric Scott, they was like, "Hey man, this dude he want to come play for you." So I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I mean, cool." But he brings a good energy. He young, and what I did like about him was he was up for the challenge. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, let's just do it. And what it was, the guys around him believed in him, and it made it easier. And it was just like,
Yeah.
he young, but he played his way through, and I was proud
That's
of him.
right.
He did a good job, though. Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely.
Yeah, he elevated the belief. I have a story, quick story. My senior year, our quarterback my senior year, he didn't come in. He was a baseball basketball player, but he didn't come in late until summer. But when he came in, he had all the physical tools, like 6'3", 210, 2 whatever. And like when we saw him, like everybody knew, like, whoa, that's the guy. And like our confidence levels went from, we'll win 2, 3, 4 games until up here, and we won a championship my senior year. So
That's
Right,
right.
yeah,
right.
that's a
A good,
nice little
a,
story.
a good quarterback could do that for you, for real.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true, man. Definitely, man.
So coming off a promising 9-4 season, heading into next season, what's the message for your team?
Trying to build off of what we had last year. I want to build off of the offseason we had last year. The offseason we had last
Okay.
year
Mm,
was the best we didn't have since I've been here. And what I mean by the best as far as consistent numbers during the summer.
mm,
Okay.
Consistent numbers, and during the summer we run 8 o'clock 8 a.m. practices. And
That's right.
okay.
I I asked a lot out of them. And to be honest, it was a good flow. It was a good flow
Nice.
every day. Every day was some good energy. If we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
repeat that off season, because any coach will tell you that's where the work is put in at.
Yeah.
When you get stragglers of this kid missing some weeks and this missing that day, it throws your whole, chemistry off. But when you got the majority, minimum 85 to 90% in the city section, you
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I done done something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
Hey,
main
I
thing.
I encountered my first starter leaving for 3 weeks my first year at HP. Yeah, man. Like, hey, Bones, I'm sorry I got to put you out there like that, but it was just because it shocked me. And like, it was cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love this kid. I love his family. But when he came up to me and was like, yeah, coach, I'm going to miss the first 3 games. I was like, why? You hurt? What's wrong? Like,
Right.
what did I do? You're not broken. You're not bleeding. He's like, no, I'm going out of the country. And the first thing out of my mouth was, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, huh? But it definitely is. It is a challenge. So
Yeah,
I totally know what you're talking about there.
yeah,
Hey, coach. So you've been like you talked about earlier. Like your family is well established at LA High.
right.
You've been through hell and back in the decade you've been there.
Yeah.
Other than your family lineage and that being part of the reason why you like you're still there, what is your main reason why you're still there?
Well, it's to build something. You know, every every school has like a brand.
Yeah,
We kind of lost it with, even though Eric Scott came in and did a great job, but
yeah, yeah,
and it's like it's it was no brand there. But in my time of being here, the camaraderie
yeah,
of the
yeah.
kids that I have coached,
Mm-hmm.
and from different generations, watching the kids I coached on the first team come back and support these kids,
That's
it
right.
was lost there
Mm,
for a minute. But
Okay.
it didn't got back to being a brand. Like that's one thing from everything I done since that over with, since the Eric Scott era had left. it was like,
Yeah.
I need to build a brand. We need to build a
Okay.
brand where it's some real Roman love around here. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
pride
Yes,
of
sir.
where we from. You know, because we
Okay.
had really lost it. I'm like, I just noticed it. Like we
Yeah.
losing the touch or something, man. Like it ain't the same on Olympic and Rampart, but I think I done put a little feeling back into it. I think I put a
Yeah.
little feeling back into Rampart on Olympic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a little, the games feel a little home, feel a little something. Even the logo I revamped up for the football team. Even the
Yeah.
uniforms. Just a
Nice.
touch of how we come out and how we present ourselves. You know, and like I
Absolutely.
said, at times where where I feel challenged about it, the best thing about it is when you got the kids that come back and be like, Coach, thank you. Like, oh, what's going on? Like, oh, I done this with my life. I mean, I wrote a recommendation for a kid that's finna be in the San Antonio Police Department. And he was just a guy
Hell
to get on
yeah.
the team with,
Nice.
and when he called me, he was like, Coach, you remember me? I said, Joe, stop playing. Oh, he was just lit up. Like, Joe, come on, man. Don't ask me that. What's going on? Well,
Yeah.
Coach, I need a favor. I'm like, well, what favor you need? Need a recommendation. I'm like, oh, I got you. I said, give me later on tonight, and I just tell me where to email it at. He said, well, I'm gonna send you the form. I said, no problem, and I did it.
That's
And
right.
it's just things like that that make me feel good. And the conversation with him, he also, man, I was watching every week, man. I seen how you guys are winning. It's just the energy.
Mm.
We got to put
Yep.
that feel back into it. And I'm like, if nothing else, hey, man, I'm like, we got to have some sense of pride over here. And I think I done it. And that's the main
Yeah.
thing. I don't know how long this gonna go, but my love for it,
Mm.
I'm gonna keep rapping, man. As long as I
That's
can.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
for real.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is, in my opinion, even better going 15-0 winning a championship as a head coach. It's a kid coming up to you and saying, thank you. Thank you for
Absolutely.
changing my life or whatever. That right there that's why you want to be a coach, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
facts.
So my next question is, you've been a head coach basically for close to a decade in the city section.
Mhm.
Can you tell me the biggest difference you noticed? And this doesn't have to be an LA High only thing,
Mhm.
just in general. What's the biggest difference from the city section in the mid 2010s to 2025?
Um, um, I think the numbers. A lot of kids really
Hmm.
uh this private school thing is really a situation. The southern section, I guess, everyone wants to, the Boscos and the Sierra Canyons,
Yeah. Trinity League.
yeah, yeah. I don't see, more back in the 2010s, you'll have a kid that was high profile, really want to be in the city and prove itself. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
We going. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the private school and do the
Yeah.
best I can there. And I don't care if it's 30 people there. You know, coming up in the city section, playing city section ball. You know, we took sense of pride of being at a certain school, especially your neighborhood school, and
Yep.
playing for your neighborhood
Hmm.
school.
Hmm.
That's not
Okay.
the thing no more. The thing is, man, my parents, man, I'm going over here and we're gonna mount up with 10 other kids and we're gonna go crazy. Oh, okay, cool. No
Yep.
one stands alone and be like, well, I'm finna do this. And that's back to my quarterback. That's what I respect about him. He could have went
Yeah.
somewhere
Hmm.
else and he chose to come over here with us.
Okay.
You
Hey,
know?
it's crazy. You're not lying because honestly, from 2000 to about 2010, let me be honest with you. I was in the southern section. I went to high school in the southern section. We didn't want no smoke with no city schools. I'm sorry. Like I played against
Hmm.
Santa Fe High School, and they had probably like three guys go D1. They would have got smoked. They got smoked by South Hills in the championship. Like ain't nobody want to mess with the Mamba. Like
Right, right,
Deontay Thomas. Nobody was messing
D'Anthony.
with Crenshaw in the early 2000s. Like
right.
I hate to say it now, like it has gone away from it, but from 2000 to about 2012, ain't nobody want to smoke with city section. I promise you that nobody. Probably like the modern days and the Boscos, of course, but I'm talking about these small schools that think they were running stuff. Nah, they would have they would have got dog walked.
Man, everybody mounting up there with them schools
Yeah.
now. So I
I,
mean, hey.
I agree. And I agree. Look, if you look kind of to the biggest recruits in recent years for the city section, Andrew Williams, who's at Fremont, and Chinedu Nyagoro, what's one comparison that you can that there is? And I know you don't know the answer. It's just kind of It's rhetorical. The answer is they didn't play Pop Warner. They didn't play, youth football. Coach Torres recruited Shenandoah for King Drew's first season, and Andrew Williams got recruited his freshman year to play football. So the big recruits in the city section in the 2020s, I guess you could say, are kids who never played football, and like you said, a lot of those kids, Carson, the South Central, Watts, these areas are booming with talent,
Right.
and these kids, they go to the Trinity Leagues. I'm not saying that's wrong. I I'm pretty open to the idea of transferring, and if you truly believe, like, okay, I think I'll get a better opportunity here, then go ahead. So, but it's just something to talk about because it is true and it's something you can't deny.
Right.
Numbers are low. Kids don't want to go to their home school, lack of support from administration, lack of
Mhm.
funding. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not complaining. I'm just stating facts.
That's
All right.
true.
Like honest, yeah, it's true. Like my take on this is like stay in the city. Even if you're gonna transfer to a school, try out the city.
Right.
Like you got the competition out here. Like,
Right.
hey, I've never been like I said, I'm a southern section guy, and now that I'm in the city section, man, like the amount of talent that we have, the hidden gems that we have, like these kids that have never, like we interviewed Roscoe Jasper, he had never played football ever. He was a swimmer. The
Yeah.
dude is
Yeah.
he's taller than God knows, and this kid is a monster.
Right.
Like, man, I'm
Exactly.
so excited for what we got going on in the city, man. To all our viewers and our listeners, I hope y'all tap in next year. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great for the city.
Yeah, man. And that's one thing get me going, and I'm real good with most of the coaches, man. Even like
Yeah,
Cisco, my boy over at Emmanuel, Coach Horn. I talk
yeah,
to
yeah,
I stay tapped in with all the coaches, man, and put them positive vibes because I know we
Mm,
all go through the same things, and we all
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
point where it's like, well, what are we in this for, and what are we trying to get out? We all at the same point, man. We love this. We love the
yeah.
grind. This is not we just imagine getting 40, 50 kids. No, man, you struggling to get you a good 30 if you can. You know,
If you lucky,
if
if
you
you're
lucky,
lucky,
you lucky to get 30. Man, when I met Cisco, he was at Macy's. Man, I
yep,
showed up over there and I didn't even know that was my first official season, 2018. I showed up to that game
okay,
with 17 kids. I
yeah,
figured we fine. They're like,
Wow.
no, 18 is the minimum.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nobody told
yeah,
me that. They let us play. And it was like, okay, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, it was like a standard of stuff. Okay, well, next week I know I got
yeah,
to have 18. And the reason why we didn't, because I put some kids down behind some behavior situations. And I was like,
yeah,
no,
Mm,
y'all not playing. But I didn't know that part. But once I caught on,
yeah,
okay, now we getting to understand it. Like, no, you got to understand some things when you're doing things. But we all in the same boat, man. We all from the same struggle. And we all trying to get somewhere and trying to just do it out of love and really.
yeah.
Definitely.
Totally
yes.
get it,
Yeah.
Coach. So we kind of tailor these questions to end the show. So for what advice would you have for any young coach like myself or any just young coach out there that's looking to become a head coach in the future? Like, what's the best piece of advice you can give them?
Come with a plan. Come with a plan of understanding of what you're trying to do, and stick to what your plan is. But make sure that the plan
Mm,
is for the best of the kids. I don't have a plan for myself. Everything that I do is catered to helping them. No matter how it goes, or however, if it's winning or losing, even if it go left, everything was catered to help the kids at the end of the day. No matter
Love
what.
it.
It was catered to help them no matter what I ever done. It was catered to help every kid that came through that program under me. It's not about Coach Jackson. It's always about them. And if you come through my program and you don't feel that way, I need to find out. We're going to have to talk to understand because
That's right.
everything I do is about y'all. It ain't never about me. So that's one thing. As a new head coach, always figure, man, that your plan is to help each and every one of the kids. From the kid that's sitting on the bench all the way at the end, that never gets in the game, to the kid that's a star. I give them all the same good treatment, man. At the end of the day, I treat them all good.
That's what's up.
wow, I love that answer.
That
But
was
before
awesome.
before we close it out, I just want to say big thank you to you. I've heard nothing but great things from players, reporters, other coaches in the city about you, Coach Jackson. And I'm definitely, I know you guys, I'm in the Valley, so LA High's kind of far, but I'm gonna try my best to pop out to a game and just support the Romans, man.
Please,
Hey,
you always
that's
welcome. I'm
big
only picking
facts.
real Paul. You always
Hey,
welcome.
hey, if you're playing on our bye week, I'm there.
Definitely,
I'm
definitely,
there.
man.
I'm there
Definitely.
on the bye week. I'm there. Like I gotta pop out and support, man. Like, um, as another coach, I want to say thank you for what you do, coach. Like, real talk. Like, you've inspired me. Like, I appreciate what you do for these young men, and I'm truly grateful that you are just like Cisco, just like coach Coltress. You guys are the role models for young coaches like me, and I just wanted to give you your flowers and tell you I appreciate you, coach.
Hey, thank you guys so much. I appreciate this. Hey, man, you guys always welcome, man. Anytime. Appreciate
For
this, man.
sure.
And I love what y'all doing, man. This is good. This is a good look for the city, man. Really appreciate that.
We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
we
So
appreciate
for
that.
all our viewers, all our listeners, hey, this was Coach Jackson. I'm your host, Coach Paul. You already know that handsome young guy over there is my co-host, Jay. This is the On the Map podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and shout out to our sponsor, Never Waver Apparel. Until next time, y'all be safe. Peace.
Appreciate you
Peace.
guys. Yes, sir.